Hello there, this is DBT and these are the rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt Legends Unite. And today, I have two objectives in this video. The first one is gonna be trying to unlock the second free car of the Drab Syndicate, the Maserati MC20. I might be able to do it, but we're gonna check it out. But also, the other, and really the main objective of the video, is gonna be checking out the Q&A session that just happened today in the official Asphalt Legends Unite Discord server. There were a lot of questions asked. We got some really interesting answers, some other ones that are just, meh. We're gonna go through every single one of them, but before I go into any of this, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, it's free. Doing these things help the channel to continue growing, and that allows me to continue making these videos for you. So go ahead, do it for the channel, do it for DBT, do it for the content. But alright, so first things first, let's try to get my second Drab Syndicate car. Now, I've already talked about how much progress you can make and whatnot, but you can see over there at the top that in Osaka, the secret tournament, I'm really close to finishing this entire chapter. Now for that, I wanted to show you this particular race just to demonstrate the fact that you are able to finish this entire chapter with a 2-star car. You cannot do it with 1 star, it needs to be at the very least a 2-star, but so long as you do all of the races, you'll be fine. And here we go. Now the difficult part over here is gonna be, I mentioned in another video where I was talking about the Drab Syndicate and whatnot, how you need to have some Syndicate coins available for the end of a chapter, because when you reach that point, you're gonna have to spend some of those Syndicate coins to upgrade. In this case, the main car being the main car of the Drab Syndicate. I mean, the Racer Tachyon Tartarus. So, oh Jesus Christ, this thing drifts horrible. So I want to see how many of those coins I need. Now I know that probably a lot of you guys watching this video already did all of this. You're pretty far into the event, but this is mainly aimed for, you know, newer players that don't know exactly how far they can make it and whatnot. They're having some problems and they're like, oh my god, should I even bother, and all of that stuff. That's why I'm making this part of the video. In fact, this was gonna be the main video topic, but really there's not a lot to show in regards to this. And then also because the Q&A just happened, well, all right, there we go. So I did my thingy and I'm gonna get 640 Syndicate points, which allows me to get to the second to last milestone of this chapter. Now this is important. I reach the chapter here, the Secret Tournament 5, and this is where you get to use the main Drab Syndicate car. And let's have a look at that. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long race. Finish the race, beat the time, blah blah blah. All right, so here is the situation. Now you can see over here, Racer Tartarus, it's at 1 star, but if you notice on the top right, it says that it has required rank of 4120, and my rank is of 4097. That means that I need to upgrade the car. But as I mentioned in another video, you upgrade this car not with credits, but with Syndicate coins. This is why it's important to have a bunch of Syndicate coins still available by the time you finish this chapter. Now to be fair, even though I just finished the previous, whatever you want to call this, there are 20,000 coins to be claimed over here in the pin missions. So you're gonna have the opportunity to do that, but still, just want to show you how much exactly do you need. So that's gonna be 4,600, and that's it, right? Yeah. All right, so 4,600 times, can you, let me, there we go. Jesus Christ. 4,600 times 6, how much is that? 1,600, and then 4 times 6, 24. So you need, if I'm not mistaken, 18,400? Did I do the math right? I don't know, somewhere over there. Just multiply that amount by 4, and that's what you need in order to do it. So there we go, and with that, I have the car at the required rank, and then I get to do the race. I promise you that I'm better at simple math than what I showed in these videos, but it's hard to be thinking of math when you're also recording and doing all this stuff, so sorry for being bad at this. So, alright, I guess we get to enjoy a little bit the Tartarus, even though it's a 1 star and not even maxed out 1 star, but hey, whatever. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on the Tartarus now that you had plenty of time to play with it in the... oh my god, what was that? What kind of jump was that? Ah, Jesus Christ. Then you had some chance to play with it at the start of the Drab Syndicate. Well, probably you have already forgotten, right? Because if you guys have been grinding the Drab Syndicate, well, you have very limited opportunity to grab this car, but anyway. I'm waiting for it to actually show up in MP2. By the way, what do I gotta do here? Finish the race and beat the time of... Okay, so I just need to beat the time. I don't even need to beat the other car. So you know what? I'm gonna fast forward through this for you. And it's funny because I don't actually mind doing 2-minute races normally, but you know, for the sake of the video, not making it too long, or rather much longer than it needs to be. It's already going to be long when we look at the Q&A. But hey, here we go. But yeah, I was saying that I'm just waiting for this car to show up in as a free try in MP2, and this might get actually pretty interesting, and we'll have a chance to drive it in multiplayer, and we'll see how it does. Alright, so there we go. I have reached the... Wait, is it the 99,000 or the 100,000? No, there we go, the 100,000 milestone, which gives me the 40 blueprints to unlock this car. Wait, no. 40 out of 45. You still need 5 more blueprints in order to unlock this car. Okay, here we go. Honestly, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna skip through this. I never cared to read any of those, like, oh, here's your mission and this and this. No idea, never cared for it. It supposedly has this whole story going and whatnot, but what do I know? Alright, so... Oh, and the reason I said that what do I know is because this Drive Syndicate thing has been going on for years, and to really learn about the story of it, you need to make a lot of progress in the Drive Syndicate, and I've never done it, so I'm not invested in the story. I don't care. Alright, so we get our first race, and to do this race, you need the Maserati MC20, and I don't have it. So this is a part where you would be stuck, but that is why it's important to have some Syndicate coins still available. Once you reach this chapter in the shop, you're gonna have the opportunity to buy the blueprints for this car. I need to buy 5 blueprints in order to unlock the car. Jesus Christ, these are gonna be expensive. I don't think I'm gonna be able to unlock it right here. I could also just straight up buy some of these packs for blueprints, but you know, the chances for you to get what you want from there are low. So how much do you need? I don't think I have enough to get my 5 blueprints. Do I? Come on, one more. Barely. All right, there we go. Maserati MC20 is mine now. So yeah, that's why I was saying that you need to have some additional Syndicate coins in general. Now, as you see, it's not insanely difficult. Like I said, it was all a matter of getting the XKR, the previous car, to 2 stars, and then don't spend any more in that car, and then proceed to save all of your Drive Syndicate coins to buy precisely these blueprints. As you will see, for getting this one, which is the one that I did at the start of this video, I've done all of the other pin missions. So that's what you want to do. Do always the pin missions, and then from here onwards, you can start playing with this car. And in order to finish this entire chapter, you need to have the MC20 at 3 stars. So just keep that in mind. You're gonna need to eventually 3-star this thing. But alright, just want to give you an idea of this. Once you reach, basically, let's have a quick look at the rewards over here. Again, if you manage to take your MC20 to 3 stars, you're gonna make it all the way over... Wait, where would it stop? 250,000 is the maximum point over here. So you would get around, let's see, 250,000. Okay, so you would make it into 23 blueprints for the FB Frangevento Asphalt. But if you don't own it, this is not very useful. So in general, all I'm gonna say is that unless you already have the Asphalt or something like that, well, really, that car, I would say just focus on upgrading your Maserati MC20 if you're a free-to-play player, because that's where your progress in the Drive Syndicate is going to stop. But alright, enough of that, let's talk about the Q&A. Now, if you don't know anything about the Q&A, developer Q&A session, they had announced it at some point in the past. I can't exactly recall when, but it probably was like I don't know, the release of this patch, something like that. And just about 7 hours ago, they posted this on their official YouTube channel. They probably were posting it also in other social medias, though honestly, I don't follow them in other places, so hey, who knows. But yeah, they were just saying over here, we'll be holding our end of the year dev Q&A in our official Discord channel today. Head over to, and it gives the links, to participate and have the chance to get answer to all your burning questions straight from our devs. And there is developer Q&A for Asphalt Legend Night, all of this stuff, right? And by the way, sorry for the really simplistic setup here to show you the screenshots and whatnot, but hey, listen, if it's dumb but it works, it's not dumb, so yeah. Alright, so this started, what was it, some hours ago, like a couple hours ago, they started it. Now, basically, they just took I suppose, the most popular questions and obviously the non-inappropriate ones, and they started replying them. So we're gonna go one by one. And it was posted this by Escopeta. I guess it's supposed to pronounce Escopeta, which means shotgun, but anyway. Hi all, Escopeta here from the Asphalt dev team. Happy to share a few minutes with you today. And then the questions and answer begin. You will notice that they have thumbs up and thumbs down. Actually, when this whole thing started, they didn't have this, and everybody was just posting crazy amounts of reactions to every single message. Eventually, they removed all of those reactions, and they just kept it as thumbs up or thumbs down. But anyway, question. Will we be adding Gauntlet mode from Asphalt 9 China to the game? Answer. Yes, as this is something that players have been requesting for a while, and we will be implementing this during the first half of 2025. Now, I'm not particularly familiar with that game mode, but I do understand that it's a mode in which you actually get to drive several cars in, I think, different maps. I don't quite know how this works, so I can really comment on it. You guys will have to let me know in the comments how close it is to the Gauntlet of Asphalt 8, because that one I'm familiar with, but hey. But apparently people do want it. You can see that the general response by the community was positive. Now, these screenshots were taken some time ago, so probably the numbers have changed by now, but you get the idea. Will we be allowing for solo private lobbies? Answer, yes. Another highly requested item that will allow players to practice on their own. This is absolutely fantastic, massive W. Basically, this is going to be kind of like a quick race that we have on the Nintendo Switch, I imagine. Or simply a private lobby where you play all by yourself. This is fantastic because indeed it allows players to practice tracks, and this is absolutely great. Before even Asphalt Legends Unite, you needed to go into a team race, a club race really, in order to do it and all of that. Then now with the private lobbies, it doesn't even need to be with your club, but eventually it will be soloable, you know, soloable. That makes sense? Now the real question is, will we ever get an offline version of playing that? I don't know, but it seems unlikely, but still a good development over here. Next question, will season tokens come back? I thought this was a funny one. Yes, but not as we implemented it before. This will be included in the special seasons in collaboration with IPs. So I think this one is funny because people hated seasonal tokens until seasonal tokens were removed, and then people actually missed seasonal tokens. So now they're asking about, hey, will seasonal tokens come back? And the answer is yes, but no, not exactly. So I don't know what to make of this. Seasonal tokens were good in the sense of they were a cheap way of getting stuff in the game. The problem is that it kind of replaced the use of regular tokens, and what that meant is that you could no longer save tokens for months and months and months and months. I mean, you could, but to a much lesser extent. And, you know, saving tokens for months and months and months and months and months, it's a very strong tactic in order to make progress in this game and get really strong cars so long as you have enough patience. But hey, I don't know what's going to happen with this. We'll have to see how they implement them. I just think it's funny that we collectively hated them, then we kind of love them. So yeah, anyway. Next question, will we expand career mode in future seasons? Yes, at the end of 2025, we are planning to deploy new content. Also, during Q1, we'll be improving, Jesus Christ, a bit the experience for new players on career. But now, this one, listen, it's good that they want to add new content in career. But until the end of 2025, that's another full year of waiting. Jesus Christ, career's so forgotten about. And I don't know, I think it's... sometimes you just want to play with a car, not be multiplayer. I don't know. But yeah, it says during Q1 we'll be implementing a bit of the improving the experience for new players on career. So maybe they're gonna start adding some more new cars in career to be acquired. So hey, that sounds like a good thing. Will there be a car faster than the Devel? In the long term, yes. Nevertheless, this is a limitation with cars, as we really don't want to break the Asphalt experience and go too far from reality. What? Now listen, I understand the limitations and all of that stuff, but saying that they don't want to go far from reality, really? With cars that go 550 kilometers an hour and they jump insanely high and they don't brake when they land, and but they don't want to go straight from reality. I don't know, I just thought it was funny. Not that it matters, really. But yeah, I do imagine over time they're going to make indeed faster and faster cars, because obviously the business model relies upon always adding something newer and bigger and better for people to want the new, bigger and better car and spend money on that. So it makes sense that they're going to continue what's called power creeping over time. But yeah, I mean, I imagine they don't want to do it too often. Only every 6 months when there's a drop syndicate so that people spend on it. Just saying. All right, next we have question, are we planning to revamp any daily regular events to improve? Are we planning? Okay, yeah, I guess. Are we planning to revamp any daily or regular events to improve reworks, reward cup, showroom, car hunts? Answer, yes. The second semester of 2025 will be doing a deep dive into new players' experience, which will be including this type of content. See, they will continue talking about the new player experience, which is good. But a lot of us that are new players, really the question is there going to be something for the non-beginner players to improve their rewards, you know, on cars that are harder to get and all of that? I don't know. That's how I would focus the question, but the answers continue to focus mostly on the new players. But hey, to be fair, the new players are what keep the game alive, so that makes sense. Well, just, you know, in the sense of having a lot of players to play with. Next question. Are we planning to add player customization to the garage? Now, I don't understand what they mean by player customization. The answer was, not in the short term. We're focusing on improving the current UI, user interface, of the game and performance across platforms before adding more systems that risk not being polished enough for you. So what I don't understand is add player customization. Do they mean like add customization determined by the player, or like, I don't know, Asphalt they did and add like avatars and have their, I don't know what they mean. I do hope that the point here was to talk more about like, hey, can I change the garage background and change the colors and things like that? Still, the answer is basically, and I actually agree with this answer 100%. They first want to make sure that the game is stable, that the game works well, it's not super laggy, it's not all of that stuff. You know that it's a continuing fight that they have to fight in order to keep the game performing relatively alright, even in lower devices. Actually, they talk about that later, but anyway. So yeah, they need to get the game pretty stable in a spot where they're like, okay, we like how it's performing now. Oh, now that we have a baseline of performance, then we can start adding new stuff and try to make sure that the baseline is preserved. So yeah, that makes sense. Next question, are we planning to expand or improve the club clash? Like car renting from club members, more leader powers, better management system for club wars, etc. Answer, at the end of 2025, we will be working to add quality of life features and events for clubs. Currently, or our focus, I guess, is to fix exploits and bugs. Now, I like this, obviously, that they're fixing exploits, but they don't actually talk much about specific things. Honestly, I don't believe they're gonna do anything like car renting or anything like that, because that kind of beat the purpose of making players want to own the cars in order to use them over there. So I don't think they're gonna be doing anything like that, and that's why I think in general the answer is very mild and like, we will look into it, but at the time that's not the focus, kind of. Quality of features, it just doesn't really say what it is. Events for clubs, that could be fun, but you know, like, hey, this is an event specific for your club, or really unique to club, and you can get additional rewards over there. But honestly, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Are we planning on improving car filters on the garage? Our plan for 2025 is to improve the UI UX of the car gallery rather than particular filters. If you have suggestions, we'll be happy to receive them. So basically, the answer is, right now, this is not the plan, but we're open to hearing some of them. I keep on saying that the thing of the filters, especially for controllers, I've talked about this in the previous video. When you select a filter, I wish you could press the start button and takes you straight to accept those filters, as opposed to having to navigate to the confirmation button. So other than that, I don't know. What are there really problems with filters? I haven't really noticed problems with the filters other than that. What do you guys think? Then we got question. Are we planning to bring the club tab back to the menu? Not for the moment. That's it. They lost me there. Here. As we mentioned, we're focusing on polishing the current UI, not AI, and performance before adding more changes. Now, honestly, I think this is a change that it's very, very needed. And okay, you know what? Let me bring up the game again. So thanks to the fact that now in the main UI, we finally have all of these buttons up here for your garage and all of this stuff that was found originally in a tab called Home. Yeah, we no longer have that tab. So that means that they opened already space for an additional tab. So they can definitely fit one additional tab here for Club. Or where else could they put it? Maybe they can put it on multiplayer. So the problem that I have with Club Clash is how far you have to go in order to find it. Because then you have to go, where is it? Is it over here? And then you have to, wait, is it here? Club, that's not it. Is it here? Clubs, and then you have to Clash, and then you have to go over there. I think that is way too much for something that it's meant to be one of the flagship game modes in the game. I think it definitely needs a button in the main menu. Now, to be fair, they did say that it's not for the moment, so they might do it eventually, but I think that should be something to focus on soon enough. Or maybe is it that they're trying to hide it a little bit because it hasn't been really polished? You know that if you go into the Clash menu in the cars, you can still see the UI of the old game of Asphalt 9 rather than Asphalt Legends Unite, with the blue background for the car cards and all of that stuff. But anyway, we'll see. Hopefully they're gonna do it soon. We need that button. Next question. Apart from the car stat balancing, are we planning to rebalance car ranks without editing stats? Oh boy. Rather than car ranks, we're currently focusing on balancing stats to match car ranks. So basically the question is, are you gonna change the rank of cars to make more sense with the performance of the car? And the answer was no. We're planning to change the performance to make sense with the ranks. Honestly, I think that is the wrong approach because that requires a lot more changes than changing the rank of the cars. Do you know what I mean? Because then it's like, oh, so if this car, it's a rank of 4,000, but really performs like a 3,500 car, why not change it to 3,500 and call it a day? But instead what they're saying is like, no, if it's a 4,000, but it performs like 3,500, let's upgrade. Let's improve the handling, let's improve the top speed, let's improve this, let's improve that. It's a lot of changes, a crazy amount of changes, and honestly, at the pace that they've been doing it recently, I don't think this is gonna work out, or they're really actually gonna focus on this. You can see actually the reception was negative. You know, they did a rebalance for this patch. One rebalance of one single card, the Devel, and that's that. I don't think they're focusing on this at all. This is just a little bit like, yeah, sure, yeah, we're doing it, sure. So anyway, next we have, well, other tracks from Asphalt they be remastered and included in Alu, like Nevada. Yes, oh yeah, baby. But stay tuned for more news. Now, so indeed, I find this interesting. A long time ago, in another Q&A when it was still Asphalt 9, they got the same question, and the answer was basically, we're thinking about it. But it was mostly a no, because they were saying we want to keep adding our own new stuff and whatnot. So now they say that they will, which is good. Which track? Who knows? I actually do have a guess. I believe that this is going to be Barcelona, the Barcelona map of Asphalt 8. Because A, it's a classic map of the original game, beloved by many, and second, or B, right, it's gonna be because, well, the team that is working on Asphalt Legends Unite is the Barcelona team. So, that would make sense, right? To bring their home base. And again, it's a cool map, so why not? So, I think that could be it, but who knows? I could make a whole video talking about which cars could work or not in Asphalt Legends Unite, but that will be for another occasion. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video on which track I would I think that would work in Asphalt Legends Unite from Asphalt 8. But anyway, next question. Are we planning of adding new features to Club? Yes, end of 2025 we'll be adding events quest so you can enjoy with your club mates. This is basically the same question that we got before related to clubs. Or rather, the same answer. Question, how do car statistics work? What is the general formula for assigning the rank to a car according to its given performance stats? And the answer... Okay, let's read it. Normally, car ranks will be reflecting the order of performance linked to stats. That is why we are focusing on balancing stats at the moment to better reflect the rank. Basically, that doesn't answer anything. They're saying like there's a formula that determines the rank based on the performance. But it's clear that that has not been working given that, you know, a bunch of cars don't make sense. So yeah, who knows? Again, hopefully they indeed are really doing an overhaul to the ranks and all of this stuff, because, geez. Will you add the option to donate epic import parts or wildcard epic import parts? What? Or wildcards? Okay, I guess they meant just epics, wildcards, or blueprints or something like that. The answer is not currently in our plans. Hey, at least they were straight up with this. No, maybe we'll see. No. It's not there. And obviously people did not like this, but it is what it is. At the very least, they were clear about that, so I can respect the hard lines or hard stance there. Question, are we considering bringing club friend gifts to the game? Can gift purchase? Not currently in our plans. That would be, honestly, that would be kind of cool, you know, if you have a friend with a bunch of money and like, hey, you really want this car? I'll buy it for you, here you go. You know, that type of thing. Obviously, people did not like this either, so hey. I do believe that this could be good. This one I understand why they don't want to do it, because they want people to spend money on oh, I know why. I just realized why. Okay, so this is obviously for people to spend money or really have troubles getting this stuff. That's the idea of why they're not doing it. But, you know, like, hey, you want to spend your own money on doing this. But then I thought, but well, why purchases? I think it's because of the difference of prices, regional prices. Like, if in my country it's so much cheaper to buy this thing, I'll buy it for you and then you just pay me. So instead of you having to spend $60 on this 50 blueprints for the car, whatever, you know, I'm just giving you a random idea. Instead of $60, I can buy it for $30. So I buy it, gift it to you, and then you send me the $30, and that is that. So I think that would be the reason why. I don't know, that's my guess, but yeah. Next question, are we planning on bringing 1v1 back? Not really, sad. But we're working with the team to consistently ship new game modes on almost every update. I really like 1v1. I really did. Now, the rewards, well, you know, questionable. And at least on the Switch, the rewards were kind of okay, because they were mostly credits. and they were a weekend event. I made a lot of videos talking about that I loved how in the Switch, which was a different version than Asphalt 9 normally back then, yeah, they were adding 1v1 every single weekend with a bunch of different cars. It was really fun. It was just, hey, a weekend thing, let's play a little bit and enjoy it. So, I don't know, I'm kind of sad to hear that they're not bringing it back. I did enjoy it. Why don't you let me know in the comments, did you enjoy it? Next question, will we be adding an option to restart your MP progression instead of just dropping a few ranks? Answer, it's something we are discussing, but we haven't come to a conclusion yet. Now, I'm glad to see that this is indeed a question that came up, though I don't know about an option. Oh, well, maybe, I don't know. It's just that I've talked about before how the new multiplayer system, especially in MP1, the fact that you finished in Platinum, the whatever it's called, those seasons, whatever. You finished in Platinum, and the next one you begin in low Platinum is like, oh, so I never will be driving my Class D, C, or B cars, really, right? So that is a problem that I have with it, and in my opinion, it has made a lot of the cars in MP1 like unrevisitable, unless you want to do a gajillion races, lose them all, and hoping to rank down just so that you can, you know, drive the lower cars. So, I mean, you can drive them, obviously. You can drive them no matter which league you are, so long as it's a higher league. Or rather, the cars in the lower league. You know what I'm saying, right? But the point is that for a competitive scenario, yeah, it's a sad situation where we don't have really much of a reason to visit those cars. As an option, if they make it into an option, I don't know. I think it should be just like it was in the old multiplayer. You finish your 2-week season, you go back to the beginner league, and then you climb your way up. For people with a lot of experience, this is not a problem. So I don't know why they changed that, but anyway. Next we have, will we be adding an option to restart your MP progression instead of just dropping... Oh yeah, I read that one. Are we planning on bringing back dynamic shadows or adding 120 FPS option for Android? Yes, we will when we are happy with Android performance, and this makes absolute sense. First, like I mentioned earlier, they need to get the game to perform to a certain level that, okay, this is working just about every device. Great, now let's start looking into re-adding other stuff and see how far we can push it. So that makes sense. What can we expect about the future of Alu? What are the new things you guys have in mind coming our way? The answer, as we mentioned, we will be focusing on delivering more content and game modes. We will be releasing a roadmap video for 2025 early next year. So really, the only thing to mention about this is the roadmap, because you know the rest of the answer is just like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this thing of the roadmap. Hopefully, it's gonna be indeed a roadmap of, hey, this is what's planned for the next 6 months, as opposed to, hey, this is what the new update is gonna have, which was the quote-unquote last roadmap that they did. But anyway, are we planning on updating career or daily event rewards? Yes, as we mentioned before, we'll be looking to the new player progression where we will be touching on this. All right, cool. Since we rework multiplayer pass, are there changes planned for the Legend Pass or other passes? Yes, during 2025, we will be optimizing current passes content, UI, UX, and progression of them. Stay tuned for more news. Again, no specifics, so there might be some changes or not. That's the thing. So, we'll see. Next question. Can we introduce dual-tone paints for all car brands, or is there a licensing restriction? How does that work? I'm really glad they addressed this. I've been talking about this for the longest time with Lamborghinis that don't have dual-tone. They used to have them, but they lost them. So the answer is, there are limitations from brands, but we will try to add more tuning. I guess I mean visual customization options, especially for new cars. So that's cool. Now, when they say add more tuning, well, again, customization, I think. Adding more customization option, I wonder if they just mean, you know, hey, the new cars are gonna have dual tone and, you know, that's that. Or if they're gonna do something new, or a new option. For example, I've said for the longest time that we're missing one material that the game can render. The game already is able to render, but we don't have it as an option, and that is satin. Yeah, I couldn't think. I'm like gloss. No, gloss is the shiny plasticky one. We got matte or matte, which, you know, doesn't reflect a whole lot of light. We had metallic, which is super reflective. There's one that it's satin. If you have seen, for example, the Lamborghini Sian in game, you know that car has a very peculiar color to it. Now, on my Sian, unfortunately, I don't have custom colors or matte available, so I have to show you with the SVJ. But this is precisely the material that I'm talking about. Now, this looks reflective, but it's not actually the regular reflection. How can you tell? It's very easy if you focus on this particular reflection right here. Notice how this is kind of fuzzy, right? But if you try to emulate this material with custom colors, forget about the color itself. Just look at this reflection that I'm pointing over here. You will see that over here it's much smaller because this is a different type of reflection. Metallic, also different, and matte, you don't even get a reflection because this barely reflects anything. And that's what I'm saying. It's a different material, this one that we don't have available to select, to customize. So I do hope, and look at this, for example, even here, this is matte. This is regular reflection. This is matte as well. This is regular reflection. Once again, check how the reflection changes over here. It's more fuzzy, but it's not as insanely fuzzy as basically not existing in matte. So anyway, I hope they eventually add this material as an option for custom colors. Don't worry, we're almost done here. Next question. What is the one thing that you guys want to really bring into the game, but the game has limitations that make it impossible? The answer, more than impossible, there are things that require a really high effort, like optimizing for very low-end devices while running the game in PS5 Pro and or shipping constantly new game mods. I wonder what they mean by mods. But this is what we're working on literally every day to make it happen. So basically they're saying, we don't have any particular limitation, it's just that there's a lot to work on and, you know, it's a challenge to get it working smoothly. Question, will Switch and PlayStation ever get cross-save? Why? The answer, not at the moment. There are certification requirements that currently block us from being able to provide this currently. Now, they have slightly talked about this before. We don't know the full-on specifics, but yeah, once again, it's not gonna happen. We're still locked in, the Switch and PlayStation players. Question, what game engine are you using? Why you feel the need of implementation? Wait, what? What game engine are you using and why you feel the need of implementation of new game engine? Oh, so why did they have to revamp the engine? Is it because high quality gaming in esports and in general, or just testing your new Asphalt or related games? Okay. Basically, the question is, why did you improve the engine? Answer, we use our own engine developed in Gameloft Barcelona. Oh yeah, there's the confirmation that it's Barcelona. We have changed it to make Asphalt a viable option on console and high-end devices too. Good answer, you know, we just wanted it to be more usable in other platforms. Question, will British Store season structure ever come back? Not for now, basically, no. British Store was an amazing season, really free-to-play friendly. Obviously, it was too good to be true, so they're not coming in. It's not coming back. They're not bringing it back. Next question, what happened to the road test event? Will it come back? We are iterating different game modes to ship during 2025. Road test is not currently in our plans, so we can focus on trying new things. So basically, it's not coming back. Let's go, baby! I hated road test. I hated the whole idea of road test. I'm glad it's not coming back. Good riddance. Next question, are we planning on bringing band picks or map voting in multiplayer? Not for now as a feature, but we will be soon releasing a system for feature-specific tracks during MP season. All right, so the question is, can we have some way of voting for tracks that we want to play? The answer is no, but we may end up having, like, I don't know, maybe they're gonna do a Europe season and it's gonna be only European tracks, things like that, right? Now, I'm really glad that they're not bringing map voting. Why? I'll tell you my experience real quick from Asphalt 8 when I used to play when multiplayer had this feature back then. There were maps nobody would ever play, and there were maps that everybody would always want to play. That sounds like a good thing. It sounds like a fun thing, but it's not. It makes the game insanely stale and boring. Because, for example, in Asphalt 8, everybody would love to play Barcelona, and nobody would like to play the new map at the time, which was Orbital Loop. And because of that, people don't like Orbital Loop. They never want to play Orbital Loop, and it continues to be a hated map, even though it's a very beautiful one. So if they were to implement something like this, same thing would happen. Nobody would ever vote for playing in what's the new one? Chicago, right? And granted, I do believe it's a bad map. But still, having the variety of playing in random maps, it's a great thing. Because then you're not forced to only, oh God, here we go. We're gonna play again on Nevada for the 11th time on a road. That is the problem with map voting, and I'm glad that's not coming. So yeah, I think that's a W, even though I bet that's a controversial opinion. Next question, are you working on any new game modes, and what can you share? Do we plan on bringing an elimination mode? I wish these questions were more like either they're asked as if the person as if a player was asking, because over here it's a player that is asking, and then they switch to first person question, like am I planning to, anyway, whatever. Yes, we are. In fact, our lead team Jesus Christ. Yes, we are. In fact, our lead designer is next to my desk. Oh, next to my desk is working with the team on testing new game modes. For elimination mode is part of our 2025 plan to test it and decide if we should include it. Elimination mode, I guess they just mean literally last place gets eliminated and they continue to be eliminated like that. Honestly, I don't think that sounds particularly interesting. I'll be completely honest, but hey, you know, maybe it works great. Who knows? Maybe they can find a way to make it fun. Final question. Are we fixing the club chat censorship? And I love that they even allowed the skull emoji here. Yeah, they're fixing it. Thank to all deities. And that's it. This is all the questions we have for today. Always happy to chat with you on Discord. As always, see you on the next dev chat. So we got some pretty interesting answers, some other generic answers that don't exactly tell us a lot. But overall, I think this is a net positive to have some idea of what is happening. And, you know, hopefully they're going to be doing this a bit more often. But, you know, this come like every year or so. So we can only hope that we get some more of that. But once again, I appreciate all of these answers, especially the very clear ones like, no, we're not doing this. Because I think transparency on expectations, especially for the player base that it's invested into learning what's happening with the game, it's a really good thing. Obviously, for a lot of players, they don't care about knowing what's coming or what's not coming, because they're not even on Discord. But for those people that are on Discord, constantly paying attention and engaging with everybody there, I think it's a good thing to be like, hey, listen, this is happening, this is not happening. Anyway, just wanted to have a look at that. I was going to say a quick look, but this was anything but quick. But still, if you enjoyed this video in some way, hit the like button, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And for now, that's all. Thank you for watching. See you next one. Bye-bye.